Hello there, I'm Michael Leverton, and I've written a book called 150 Shards of Light. It's 150 short stories from the Bible, and I wrote them. I didn't just write out what the Bible said, I actually put my own spin on it to make it perhaps a bit more relevant for the modern age. And hopefully you will find these entertaining. Well, you can always turn off if you don't, can't you? So anyway, I'm not sure which shard I'm on now, but it's all about Daniel. Now, Daniel had a very interesting life, a very dangerous one, and I can tell you all about it. So here we are. It starts with Daniel saying, Joseph does make me laugh. Now, you may not remember Joseph, but Joseph was one of 12 sons of Isaac. And I hope I got that right. Anyway, it's in the Bible, you can check it out. And he was sold off into slavery in Egypt, which was very unkind of his brothers, you might say, but then perhaps he did bring it on himself. Anyway, you have to read the story to discover all that. So, while he was in prison, Pharaoh is in Egypt. Pharaoh has a dream, and nobody can interpret that except somebody remembers that Joseph could interpret dreams. So he got called up, and he interpreted Pharaoh's. Sorry, I'm making a mess of this. Pharaoh's dream, and as a result, Joseph becomes Pharaoh's right-hand man. So why did Daniel say Joseph makes me laugh? I sometimes think it's just because he's had a musical written about him and his Technicolor Dreamcoat. He thinks his story is the most amazing in the Old Testament. Well, I can challenge that, but I will say one thing. Have you noticed how often we Israelites turn up in the most unexpected and exalted places? Of course, there was Joseph, as I've just mentioned, right-hand man of Pharaoh, but there was also Esther, queen to the king of Persia, ruler over 127 provinces. And there was Mordecai, his chief administrator. And then there was me, Daniel. It was in about 605 BC, that's almost 3,000 years ago, that Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, came to Jerusalem and besieged it. Following that triumphant siege, he deported a lot of us, including me. Like Joseph, I was from a wealthy and influential family. We were nobles. However, we ended up in rather depressing exile, where I would probably have eked out a miserable existence as a farmer had it not been for an astonishing idea of King Nebuchadnezzar. He instructed his chief court official to bring in some of us Israelite men from the royal family and nobles. We had to be physically perfect, handsome, intelligent, quick on the uptake, knowledgeable about royal service. I was one of those chosen. Over a period of 3 years, we learned the language, we read the literature of the Babylonians, familiarizing ourselves with the ways of the palace, and after 3 years were up, I entered the king's service. So far, my story is not dissimilar to Joseph rising to work for Pharaoh. In fact, Joseph and I were marching step for step because God not only gave me knowledge and understanding of all kinds of literature and learning, he also gave me understanding of visions and dreams, just like Joseph. Sure enough, the king, King Nebuchadnezzar, had dreams. Now these troubled him, so he brought in his magicians, enchanters, sorcerers, and astrologers. This, however, is where Joseph and I part company. But whereas Pharaoh told Joseph what his dreams were, Nebuchadnezzar decided not to tell us what his dreams were. In fact, he ordered all the wise men of Babylon to be executed if no one could tell him his dreams and interpret them for him. Well, that included me and my 3 close companions. So we did the sensible thing and turned to God for help. The night before we were due to be executed, God was kind enough to show me everything. I went straight to the king and told him. He was stupefied. He fell prostrate at my feet, paid me honor, and ordered that an offering and incense be presented to me. Well, I was very quick to give the glory to God, I can assure you. And not only that, the king lavished many gifts on me, and he made me ruler over the province of Babylon and placed me in charge of all its wise men. Well, now this is where I stop for the day. This story is going to go on for 2 or 3 sessions, I think, because there's so much to it. I hope you enjoyed the start anyway. Look forward to seeing you or being with you tomorrow. All the best.